Firefighter 1 will exit the truck safely and proceed to the back of the truck. He will pull the securing pin out of the LDH, pull it out of the hose bed, and grab his hydrant wrench. He will then place the LDH on his shoulder and pull enough hose out to wrap the hydrant. After that, he will proceed to the hydrant, set the hose down next to the hydrant. He will ensure that the side caps on the hydrant are tightened and not loose. After that, he will remove the steamer cap in the center. After he removes the steamer cap, he will place it out of the way so it is not a tripping or falling hazard. He will then flush the hydrant. He will open the hydrant to ensure that there is adequate water flow and that the hydrant is functioning. After it is determined that the hydrant will function, he will close the hydrant back down. He will then pick up his LDH, facing away from the engine and wrapping the hydrant. He will communicate with the engineer, tell them to take off. The firefighter will face away from the engine, holding the LDH loosely. After the hose pays out and the engine takes off, the firefighter will connect the LDH to the steamer cap on the front of the hydrant. He will then go to the hose and flake it out to ensure that there are no kinks when the line will be charged. After that, he will go back to the hydrant and he will await the order to send water to the engine. Firefighter 2 will exit the truck safely and go to the back of the truck. He will pull the excess hose out of the bed, disconnect the coupling, and put the coupling back into the hose bed to avoid a trip hazard. After he does that, he will determine if he needs an additional section to make the connection to the engine. There are those different sections on both the captain's side and the engineer's side of the truck. Firefighter 2 will bring the hose to the captain's side of the truck. He will set it down and take the cap off of the intake. He will then connect the LDH to the intake, ensuring that it locks in place by rocking it back and forth. He will then flake his hose out to make sure that there will be no kinks. After that, he will step inside of the hose, make sure all of his valves are shut, make sure that the drain is open to allow air to purge. He will then call for water. While the line is charging with water, you will make sure you are on the left side of the intake. That way you are out of the way. After the line gets charged, you will make sure that the drain is open and you will allow all of the air to purge out of the system. Once the air purges from the system, you will close the drain valve. You will then address the LDH and make sure that there are no kinks in it. After you address the kinks in the LDH, you will go find your engineer and you will ensure that he is ready for water. Once your engineer is ready for water, you will open the intake valve. After you open your intake valve all the way, you will then find your captain and let him know that you are ready for reassignment.